Yeah.
All right. So lovely to be here with you, Tiffany, and I'm glad you're coming to do this today. So this is powerful. What you were just mentioning before we started recording is having a sense of overwhelm about everything that's going on. You know, like one little thing, it seems like, is sets you off, and then there's other things that feel more deeply disturbing, like body not being right, you know, grander things. And as I was mentioning, I really think you're not alone. I haven't, I've noticed this with people. It's sort of like, you know, you have this underlying story running. You could say story makes it sound like it's just completely made up, but because you have done the work, like our attitude or perspective about it. But this pandemic that's everywhere, and many people's lives change. Lots of stuff is different with work. Where we live is different for many of us. And then some things are the same. Some things are the same. Some of the thinking is the same. So
it doesn't matter about the pandemic, you know. I'm still
yeah.
still got my shit.
Yeah. And I think the main thing is noticing. Say a little more about that. What do you see when you feel super overwhelmed? Like noticing the images, even if they seem like they are totally unrelated.
Oh, I don't even, it's just my mind gets so busy, you know, jumping from this thing to that thing to, you know, I think I've tried to make sense of this whole life. So that seems to be my pattern to obsession or addiction. It's kind of like trying to make sense of understanding everything. So like even when I was doing the work at 3:00 this morning on a work person, it just kept jumping around all these other things and trying to trying to understand everything all at once. And then am I even, you know, should I be doing the work here? So it was just jumping around everywhere.
And it's sometimes that's one of the things that's hard when you're doing the work by yourself, because it's you and your own mind, and then it skips over here and you're almost like, no, where was I? What was I doing the work on? Yeah, you know, like, right. I mean, helpful to watch and notice. So something got set off with the work, and you can notice that. And I just think that frantic mind, in a way, sometimes if it's really overwhelmed and very busy and scattering around, the thought that you just mentioned, I need to understand this, or I need to know what to do. I need to get this. And the energy of it is, I'm not safe in this moment. I'm not safe. You know, it was enough to wake you up, right? Something when we wake up at night, you know, something's of concern enough that we're like, you just find yourself awake. Yeah.
I was dreaming of you. I was dreaming of this.
Yes.
It wasn't just you and your house. It was like this whole house that was, everyone was like camera, lights, action or something. But then I lost my 2 pairs of shoes and I was trying to find them and couldn't find them. And I had the kids needing me. And
oh my God, that's
what woke me up.
That's kind of amazing, actually. Yeah. Can't find it. I don't know. Just that.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
The sort of, and that.
I thought I'd get it. I thought I'd remember. It was so obvious. And then just everything was a maze and I just couldn't land on anything. And
if you just even welcome that energy in, welcome the energy in, that's like, I can't land. So great to describe it that way. It's like I see things flying. Feels like the mind is like that, right? It's flying. It can't settle down, or it won't settle down, you know, and just watching how fast it is. It's amazingly fast. Just, you know, and kind of skipping around, not logical, bouncing. And I just notice when we get just So if you notice just simply the energy, it's okay to not even necessarily like have to solve it, but just notice the energy of that. And it kind of is up, 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 you know, high, the highest point in us is, I don't know, like your head feels like that's where thoughts are, you know. Yeah. And I like noticing what, so you have that troubled, disturbed feeling. It definitely feels like something's threatened or there's something to worry about. And it's okay to not even, like, you can find 10 things in 2 seconds, right? I mean, yeah, the kids and I can't remember, I'm gonna have this appointment. I am, but the work, you know, it just kind of skips fast. Just sitting with that energy and noticing something's threatened. I need to worry. I don't even want to worry, but here I am worrying, or, you know, whatever, flying up and not able to land. So in a way, okay for that to be there, because there it is. Sort of, it's a great, you know, as Byron Katie says, it's the great compass, or like the little meter that's really, it's if you had a meter that had like, here's complete rest and here's really frantically nervous, you know, it's just going, meh, you know, and but it's okay. I sometimes love just noticing if it gets so frantic, the concept is something like, I'm not safe. This isn't safe. I'm not safe with my mind. My mind is just really worked up. Who would I be without that thought? And okay to be noticing that it's really working hard and not landing. What's nice is that a turnaround there. It's okay. I am safe, even if my mind is very, very busy.
Yeah, it's interesting just saying that, because I have felt that I've done that. Like I've noticed, sort of been observing, and then I just wanted to cry. You know, I went to the osteopath and I was just like, do you mind if I just cry? And I was crying at work and just,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I think I said to her, I just can't ground myself. And then when I, you know, so I'm kind of quite aware, but then it's just, for some reason, there's just lots of, so I don't know what, you know, and then I'm trying to figure out what all of that is, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know what these tears are, but I just,
yeah.
trying to make sense of them, you know, and then I start trying to make sense, and oh God.
Yeah. I know, because that's a good one. I need to make sense of this. It's like, well, the mind is such a servant. It'll be like, we're already, you know, it's like, can you please figure this out for me? I mean, you know, that it just goes to work trying to figure things out. You're not alone. That's what our minds do. At least that's what my mind does too. It's like, it's not very comfortable with not having any answer, you know, to something that seems like it's a problem. I love the word overwhelmed, because as I understand it, comes from, it's like being out at sea on the water, and whelmed is like the water pouring in, you know, like, and you describe grief. It's like just overwhelmed, kind of capsized. And that there can be frightening aspects of that. Like, I feel really emotional. You know, I feel really scattered. Mind trying to go to work on figuring it out, you know, unable to do that. And even if crying a lot is okay, sometimes the thoughts come in, you know, got to stop crying. You might not have had that one, but okay to be noticing all that scattering. Here go the thoughts, very busy, can't land. And I just feel like crying. That's sort of under there too. And even just, it's okay to be crying. Okay to feel grief. Grief.
I know there's a bit of a scream in there too, but well, I'm around, it's like there's never the right place to, I don't know, let the scream out, it feels.
Yeah. 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 So if the scream had something, if you had words to it, what would it say? And it's okay if it gets narrow, like we do, like it sounds like you're completely onto that first step of kind of narrowing it down to one moment, at least there, and just noticing it's tricky when you have lots happening at the same time. But if the scream could speak, just see what feels worthy of screaming about.
I don't know. I mean, what comes to me is just like I just have this thing that I just hate this life. It just feels like I don't get it. I just don't get it, and I'm so angry with not getting it. I'm so embarrassed with it as well. So embarrassed that I don't get it.
Let's go for it. That's an amazing thought. And I know it feels very big and wide. I don't get it. But let's just see. Let's just see.
And I mean, maybe, even the body thing comes into that because, just life feels cruel. I don't know. It's all I can.
Yeah.
I look back at some of the experiences growing up, and my sister would hit me for no reason, and I just couldn't figure it out. And the body thing, it's like there's a moment, like my dad would have pornographic magazines everywhere, and I just remember this one moment looking at this woman with a flat stomach, and I just thought, I don't have that, and that means I'm not going to ever marry somebody, or no one's ever going to love me.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with me. I can't figure out why my sister's hitting me. It just doesn't feel comfortable in this world. And I don't know, there's this slither of somewhere that I've come from before that just felt so blissful, and I just...
Yeah. Oh. So I think that's like just watching. I don't get it. And it hurts being here. I don't understand. You get sideswiped. Can't do it. Feels hard.
Yeah, and what's the point? And then I just want to avoid. And
yeah. There's no point. There's no point in this. So first, just see if that's true. Life has no point. I don't get life.
Yeah, it feels true.
And that's so good to be staying with what feels true and not thinking I should say yes, I should say no, well, none of that, Yeah, feels true. I don't get it. What's the point? All right.
I know there's a part of me that's like, I can't, it sounds awful, because I can't wait to die.
Yeah. Oh.
I feel guilty, got kids. I've got beautiful people in my life, and what's wrong with me again? Like, why can't I enjoy it?
Yes.
And I do sometimes, but it seems to be this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I've just loved finding the work so much,
Yeah, I know. And I just love you're going here, because it's just noticing what overwhelm is like, and seeing all the different parts that and like life is cruel and harsh, and what's the point? See the reaction. How do I react when I believe that thought? I don't get it and I should get it. And not getting it seems cruel. Just see, of course I've already said it. I wish I was dead.
Yeah, and I'm constantly looking out to others, and I, comparing myself to others, and just I guess, what's the word? I can't even think of the word. Oscillating, or like going between. Sorry, I've lost my thought.
It's okay. It's okay.
My mind's all over the show,
Yeah. Which is good to know. So there's the mind, busy jumping all over the place like a ping pong ball. It's all right, I need to get it, and I don't. And life is hard. And just looking, and how you treat yourself. Notice, I don't get it. Overwhelmed.
Yeah, and then I'm incredibly hard on myself, and
yeah. Even like it's a shame-worthy situation. Like, I just appreciate how you're saying I'm ashamed of myself. Like, the attacker comes in to say, like, you shouldn't even feel that way in the first place. Like, something's wrong with you for that. So it's as harsh as to the self as it is to everything that's happening in the world. And my thoughts. I'm mad at my thoughts. Okay. Just noticing that energy. Sometimes I like this. It's helpful. It's like we want to get away from that quickly. It's very uncomfortable. But what is the energy, this energy of I don't get it and I should, I'm overwhelmed? What color is it? What texture is it? Just letting that be here. What temperature? I don't get it. Life is cruel. Oh, shoot, you just cut out again. Oh, there you are.
Yeah, that's funny, because I was thinking about like the temperature. Like I feel like I need this warmth to feel comfortable a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great. I need the warmth, and perhaps missing.
Oh, I've lost your thing again.
Oh.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
And I just noticed on my screen that it said interruption.
Like
unstable.
Unstable. Okay. We'll just wait a moment and see if it comes back. We'll just pause a moment and see if it comes back.
I can't hear you. Do I ring you back? I just don't know how that affects.
Wait one moment, just a little bit. Because it went away and then came back. Yeah. That's funny. So everybody who's here, for the recording, can you hear me now, Tiffany, or no? Can you hear me? No. Yeah. You just go away for a moment.
Yeah. Shall I call back?
Yeah. So everyone just noticing when you've had this thought, when things have added and piled up. Not an uncommon experience, right? Overwhelmed. Emotions so big. Lots of proof for why things are overwhelming. There you are. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's going on. It hasn't happened before.
Oh, funny. Who knows? That's okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this one. Anyway.
So you were just noticing that temperature, you know, looking for warmth, feeling like it's not present, or like wanting that warmth, wanting something. It's just good to see. It's like the state of mind. I think of it as the pair of glasses we put on, only it's got feelings connected to it. You know, I'm seeing the world, I'm seeing my whole life. Like I scan my life when I believe I don't get it and it's cruel. You just get hit sometimes. You don't even know why. You can notice, you know, you've got, it's like your proof that it's cruel. Across time, and noticing when something happens, like whatever happened at work, even if it seems minor, when it's that happens and maybe something else happens and you're anticipating doing the work, and then stuff with kids, you know, just whatever, it kind of is like a ball of stress or everything that's going on, how it feels overwhelming. And of course, cruel to the self. And if I did something different, maybe things like this wouldn't happen. You know, it must be something about me or and my thinking.
More intelligent or more
Yeah.
on it or more.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what happens. Let's see, moving into this. So even just right now, in the moment, who would you be without the thought, life is cruel, and I don't get it, and I need to get it? Without that thought, it's cruel. I don't have to set that thought down about all of life for forever, but just for a few moments.
I just got this little, like, I started feeling okay and good, but then something else comes in and it's like, oh, you can't.
Yeah. And that's okay. I think that's, yeah, it's sort of the nature of overwhelm. It will, like, maybe only your mind's sort of like, no, 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 no. You know, it's sort of like butterflies landing, right? Or moths, like you said, scattering around, and they might come to go a little bit slower and land for a second. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't do that. You know, so it's kind of, I like to say, all right, let's say it's safe to not think it for a moment. And also, I love that the question is, who would you be? You don't have to be there. It's not like, be without the thought right now. That's a little hard for the mind to do, especially when it's overwhelmed. So just like, who would I be? Noticing something coming in, saying, but you can't set this down. You need to think about it, you know, just like even that. Without the thought, I need to get it. And it is cruel.
So even in this moment, like, it's hard, kind of, I'm not anchoring in a moment, but just this moment.
Yeah. See if it just, you stayed in this moment, like just, you know, noticing maybe even the room you're in, and, you know, because there are all those thoughts. They've got lots of evidence and images, however you see, or feelings connected to them, and they're all there. It's okay. And also, but more is here than that, then only it's cruel and I need to get it. Without that I need to get it, without it's cruel. Just, yeah, taking in the moment here. See if anything happens, or you can notice anything with just the feeling of the moment. You know, with the thought, it's like a cold. You were kind of like wanting warmth. So we notice without that thought, it is cruel. I need to get it. And I don't. Without the thought, it can hit you any minute.
I'm just sitting here and I feel, my mind starts getting kind of, just a minute. It's like there's possibilities. So I start thinking, oh, you know, I feel more open. And, but it's so, the mind is so then quick to not trust what the right thing, you know, it's like, well, what do I do next? Do I do this? Do I clean up? Do I help her with soccer? Do I, you know, just, and then it just goes off. Like I've got 1,000 things to do around the house or to do work on in my mind. And I just feel pulled and stretched again so quickly. So
it's like it's sort of
I'm noticing it again. And
notice.
And then I noticed the sadness again.
Yeah. Well, that can feel kind of, I don't know if that's, you know, only you'll know really where the sadness or the heartbreak is. But if it's got a thing of like, do something, do this, don't forget this, keep going, do this, you know, it's got kind of a slave driver. You can't drop to the ground, you can't do nothing, you have to do something, It's very crushing. I'm scared.
I think it's also saying just stop, everything, just stop.
Yes. Yeah. There might be some wisdom in that, you know. Yeah.
The thing at work yesterday was the one line I did was, you know, I want her to, she should stop telling me off. I think that we'd stop.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Stop. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm so hard on me, you know. It's like,
it's good to see. All right. So in a way, let's just like continuing that, and even in question 4, just noticing who would I be without the thought. My mind should stop. The person at work should stop. Who would you be without the thought? These things that are going ought to stop.
Oh, I feel really relaxed and really like just witnessing, observing. I feel like I can breathe a bit more. What does it really matter? You know, like what does it all really matter?
Yeah.
I feel, you know, like I feel freer, like at work I couldn't speak my true mind. And I already hadn't done that prior to this moment, and I just, so it's like I can slow down even now and just take the time to contemplate. Yeah.
Isn't that so precious to capture that, even if no problems are solved, even if the mind still wants to think, you know? I love noticing, do we do everything we think? Like, you know, everything that you think of doing, do you do it? No.
No, but I expect myself to in those moments, like
Yeah.
I know I should have done it already, I've kind of worked that a little bit, but that still
Yeah.
has a hold.
Yeah.
Should have done everything already before
Yeah.
I'd be giving myself a chance.
Yeah. It's the mind, has thinking. How do your hands feel about this moment? Just see, like, feel your hands. Even if you have thoughts about what needs to happen, what you need to do.
You're asking some really crazy questions.
I know.
I mean, my hands are just pulling on my tissue. I don't know. How my hands feel.
Mm-hmm.
They actually feel just chilled and relaxed.
It's good to notice. It's just
Yeah.
like, being able to be in touch with the part of us that is a witness. So you went there, you thought, oh, I'm just watching. It doesn't matter. Like something, you could recognize it and see it. And then the mind comes careening in like, wait a minute, but, and then it's just sort of sinking. What if nothing's required?
Yeah, I like that question.
I like hands because they go everywhere we go, everywhere you've ever been in your entire life. Your hands have been there. And I'm not talking about the hand getting injured or something. It's just the life force pulsing through you has been there, and they've come along, and they're a part of you just as much as the mind is. But they don't have a problem.
No.
They're like, okay, if the end of today, you have done absolutely nothing on the list.
Yeah. It's handy.
Yeah. Handy. It's good. Handy.
Handy thing to remember.
Yeah.
Because I can just feel them, and they're just there, and they just feel actually just lovely and light, and I don't know. Wow.
Isn't that great?
You're frozen.
Oh, I think you are too, but I can still hear you, so that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right. So let's find a turnaround. So life is cruel. I don't get it. So just this, how about my thinking is cruel?
Yep, my thinking is cruel.
Mm-hmm. And compassion with that. Not, it doesn't mean, and it should stop being cruel. It's just,
it's just cruel when it's believing that it has to understand everything.
Oh yeah, what a job. It's like we give it such a huge job sometimes, right? It's supposed to understand life. And if you really look around, you're like, I don't get anything that's happening here. It's the strangest thing, strangest place in the world. You know what I mean? Like, no.
My thinking is cruel. I mean, I totally see how it's like I get into other people's business and I think on their behalf, and yeah, it is torturous, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like this frightened
Yeah.
It just feels like this frightened little girl.
Yeah.
I'm too scared to speak my mind, or I keep saying that it's what I'm thinking is just too, I don't know, too minimal and too petty, and yeah, my thinking is cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even my thinking about my thinking starts to be cruel, really fast. It's like I don't have much compassion. I start to feel very overwhelmed, and it feels very crushing, and just noticing the energy. And that's it's just trying to help. It's help you survive. It just does it like that. And if you did, yeah, the mind.
Yeah, I know, but how is it trying to help me survive? Like, at what?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's not very effective, but it's just so threatened. So it goes into hyper vigilant mode for fixing things. It's just like a little fix it machine. That's what I think of the mind. It's like, well, let's fix this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that just feels like my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone else is supposed to fix it too. Like, can't they see? You've got to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so great to notice when I have that pair of glasses on. I mean, you could even just notice, even though this is a repetitive thought and it's familiar, you don't have it all the time. Like that, this is my whole life. The mind loves that thought. It just says things like, says always, never, whole
Yes.
life. It really loves those big umbrella statements, but that's just, be careful.
Yeah.
And you're not having that thought. It's great to notice I'm not having that thought every minute. Is this my whole life? No.
Yeah. It's true. It's a theme that I can see throughout my life that comes and goes. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is okay. That's mind. It gets really into kind of careens in, really. All the things are flying up all over the place, muddy water everywhere. And then it relaxes, and you've gone to sleep in your life. Even though you did wake up last night, there's been many hours of sleeping, which is all good. It's good to notice.
Yeah, I love sleep.
Yes, I know. Isn't sleep? Yeah, we'll kind of forget, like the mind forgets that you've actually been so relaxed that you've just shut down and not even been conscious. And often, So with my thinking, it gets cruel, and it kind of builds on itself. It can get cruel. It gets cruel towards me and towards the world, but only my thinking. My hands, not so cruel. So life is not cruel. What's the opposite of cruel for you? What would be the word that you'd use that's the opposite?
Comfortable or kind.
Yeah, comfortable. Life is comfortable, except for a thought about it, but comfortable, kind. I mean, could that be true? Even with the list and all the things that you are thinking about, you were thinking about right now, even if the mind is still saying, okay, we're going to get back to this list pretty soon. That is, could it be kind? Could life be kind? Can I find any example?
I'm just noticing what I do is, it's like I'm trying to make it kind all the time, and I go for, I'll just get a coffee and, treat myself and this and that. But that's not, you know, that feels not, you know, I can just see that as a cover up,
Sure.
not the real kind.
Yeah. That's the beautiful nature of compulsion. It's like trying to do something to get some kindness, and there might be some temporary kindness in it. You know, if you like to get a coffee, if you like to do this, and it's what.
Yeah. So life is kind. I mean, I've got a wonderful mother who's just always really there for me. You know, I prostrate my body on the pavement the other day after well, I you know, and I just felt I mean, part of my mind was going crazy. What are people going to think? Because it was early in the morning, it was dark and blah, blah, blah. But when I let myself be there on the earth, I just felt so supported, and I could just let myself drop into it. So held. And I love nature, and I just love, you know, it's just such a privilege to hear sounds or see a dewdrop glistening in the sun, or
Sounds absolutely wonderful. See if you can even find it when the mind is thinking. Could life be kind? Doesn't mean you have to listen or believe the thoughts, or just, it's like noise, thoughts, and these moments that you're like at work yesterday with that your coworker who won't stop. You know, is it, sometimes I like noticing, for example, I believe that they should stop, my thinking should stop, hitting should stop. I like noticing it does stop. You know, like it was the end of the day and we all went home, or the end of the conversation, and except for in my head, the coworker stopped. It's just like the kindness of life, that these things, they feel intense, but they are temporary.
Yeah, she stopped. I definitely didn't.
Yeah. And my sister, like, she hit me. When was the last time she hit you?
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, it's good. Just, and it's not, this is said with great compassion. You know, it's just noticing, yeah, I don't like that. And
It wasn't the hitting that I minded. It was I mean, it was trying to figure out what I'd done wrong.
Yeah.
Why I couldn't understand, why did she hit me? Like, what?
Yes.
What have I done? Like, I literally hadn't really done anything. She was just angry, seemed to be.
Sure.
Finding life hard herself. And
yeah. And it's good to see, without the thought, there was something wrong with me, you know, and where the mind turns its attention to, we got to make sure this doesn't happen again, or I need to know why. Like, I don't get it. Without the thought, I need to get it. Just the kindness. Could life be kind without us getting it?
yeah, life is kind, but it doesn't, like, my mind doesn't feel kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even there's a part of me that can notice, a deeper part of me that notices that busy mind. That feels kinder. Does it
Yeah.
make sense? God.
Mm-hmm.
So trippy at times, this stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of seems like nervous, like a super nervous parent or something. Who knows what the mind, that busy mind, but it's attempting to be kind. It's kind of nice to see that it, or even if it's running.
Yeah. I can see that actually, like as a little kid, the it's the thinking mind is trying to help me out, like it's trying to make sense of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, to help me out. It's just that I still haven't figured it out.
Yeah. Which is all right. It's like sort of figuring it must must not be required, because most of us don't figure it out. It's just a big question mark. But I love that. I love that notion of the don't know mind. The don't know mind um, is a more relaxed one. Maybe not always. It seems like it's uncomfortable with not knowing, but yeah.
Yeah.
And even okay to notice that it doesn't stop, even if my thinking doesn't stop. Um, I can even relax if my thinking isn't stopping. Some part of me can be relaxed, even if it doesn't feel like it. If it feels very overwhelming. Love that word, overwhelmed. Like I'm just swimming, or just water is washing. I'm drowning. But that's just in the thinking. It's nice to notice I'm in a room. There's a floor. Gravity is working.
Mm, mm.
Four walls. There's a lamp on that's emitting light. Nothing's hitting me in the moment. I mean, just sort of simple. Yeah,
Mm.
being supported. I'm being supported. Breathing, deep breath is happening. A deep breath happens. Yeah, very sweet.
I'm gonna so I'm just sort of back at my work thing. It's
Yeah,
coming, and so I'm and so what you were just saying, I'm kind of there and just noticing the floor and the um, and then there's still this uncomfortableness inside of me around the thing that's happened at work.
yeah,
But and it's like I can feel that I want to say something, or something doesn't, but then there's another whole story that seems to come along, and who are you to say something? And is that just another whole story going on, or another worksheet, or like
yeah. Well, I love that balance of noticing something. Here comes something in again, like it feels very unresolved. Or I love the question, what's the threat? So mine's job, it feels like such a huge job that it has, is to make sure that if there's a threat, like it's almost like a sentry ready at your service. And if there's a threat, it's going to go to work on it. Like we're going to solve it or figure it out or shut it down, or, just make sure that it's happening. And it's lovely to have the work to sit with, like, so this thing happened, and we're not saying it doesn't matter at all, even if maybe that's true, but it's like, oh, there's some kind of thing, dynamic or dance happening here that's really important to me. It's important to me. And that's what I love. I love the work for that. It's kind of watching what the thoughts that come in. And it's okay not to figure it out right now. Doesn't, if you don't, if it's not, doesn't come to you to figure it out yet, but you can notice. So here's this person at work and you've got the image and it's strong. And it's just from right yesterday. Want her to stop. How did you say I want her to stop?
Telling me off. She should
Telling
stop.
me off. Okay, yeah. So turnarounds.
Oh, she keeps. Yeah, well, actually, she keeps telling me off. But yeah.
Yeah.
The thought too that she should stop telling me off.
Yes. She should stop telling me off, and she keeps telling me off. And I've got evidence, not just once, but like there's multiple times. And so, of course, the mind imagines this is going to keep going if you don't shut it down or figure something out about it or whatever. But I just love doing the work because it relaxes all the thoughts. I mean, you see, you can't know where it's going. And this thing about I need her to stop. She isn't stopping. She's never going to stop, So I don't need her to stop telling me off. How interesting. It's even just seeing. It brings something very close into my awareness. So I'm willing to have it happen again. Because I'm very interested in this, this thing that happens with somebody like that, with whatever's going on.
Well, yeah, I can see that I'm so afraid to actually speak up and say what I actually think.
Yeah.
I'm so scared to be getting it wrong as well.
Yeah.
What's the right and the wrong thing to do? And
oh my goodness.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's very powerful. There's a right way and a wrong way. Who would I be without the thought?
I'm desperate to get it right. And I guess it's the whole stay safe. If I get it right with my sister, and then I can be safe and like pummeled out of, like going along in my world, it was peaceful, and then all of a sudden getting hit completely out of the blue, not even just So I've got to get it right to be safe.
Yes. Yeah.
But then I've got this, who am I to say what's right? I don't know what that is all about.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the way the mind likes to, it likes to know there's a right way and a wrong way sometimes. I mean, it is more freeing not to have that, I find. But there's a lot of ideas about if I know what the right way is, then I can do it. And I love the noticing, why would I have that running? So I can be safe. So just it's noticing what I believe is unsafe in this situation. I'm threatened, whether it's emotionally, just something about my identity. If I speak up, I'm scared to speak up. I'm afraid of something there, whatever it is, just, it's okay. Okay to notice fear. Okay to notice it. Without the thought that it absolutely has to stop. It doesn't have to. Even, doesn't have to stop. I need to stop. My thinking needs to stop. Is what putting me down, telling me off? Whatever she's doing, am I doing that to myself or to my thinking and to her? And that is the only thing I can work with, because I can work with that. I don't know what she's going to do over there. I can't change her.
Mm.
But I can not do that to myself.
Mm.
I sometimes think this work is all about just simply self-compassion, just noticing I was afraid to speak up and being compassionate with myself that happened. There's nothing wrong with me. It's a human experience to be afraid to speak up.
Mm.
And it doesn't mean it's forever. And I'm willing to have that happen again. I even look forward to it.
Mm.
I might get another chance, to speak up and not put myself down. It doesn't mean speak up defensively or speak up and attack, but just, be able to speak. So.
Underneath you. I'm just on a. I know. Okay.
So sweet. And in a way, it's so sweet. Like, just notice the kindness of reality. Little child comes in the room, all okay to be interrupted. If that's, you call it an interruption, it's just showing you what's next. All okay, and the kindness of it. Notice what your hands think about the children,
Hands. I completely forgot about the hands. Oh,
right.
I love that. I love the hands.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I can just see how I'm so petrified of speaking my truth. Well, and I'm also, what I think is my truth. Because then I start also questioning, is this truth right? Like I'm really doubting myself all the time.
Yeah.
And it just, gets even crazier in the
Yeah. It's like the firing speed of the mind, like something feels true for me in the moment, but I know it's not ultimately true or whatever that happens there. And it just is so speedy, but just a deep breath and relaxing and just know in the moment, here's what it comes to me to say. It's like, on something like drinking water. I just seem to come to that metaphor a lot, but like if I feel thirsty, I might not immediately get a drink. I might say, I'm just going to finish this thing or whatever, but then I'm going to go get some water. And it's going to eventually, I'm going to get water, sooner than later. That's just going to happen. And I'm not saying, you don't really want water right now. Like, what's wrong with you? Why don't you just wait? You can get it. There's no doubt that comes up, and yet some sort of action seems to be born anyway. Like what's required is getting water. Doesn't have to happen instantly, but it will happen. It just happens regularly. And so it's kind of like watching that with the same thing that comes to me to say, like speaking, I'm noticing something edited, speaking out of fear. And then I can just see, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? And trust, like have a sort of sense of compassion about having fear about something. Somebody else, I said what I thought before, and somebody shut me down, or I didn't like it. So it's okay, like just being very compassionate with the self, and still noticing I'm interested in speaking. If I am, I might want to say something at some point. That could be fun. Could be good.
Well, actually, from doing the work, you know, might do a worksheet and something seems so terrifying to talk to somebody or say, ask something, or and then I do it. And then I just hear my voice saying blah, 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 blah. And it just, you know, it's never as bad as I've perceived it to be. But yeah, I think, without though doing the work, like this thing at work, it just felt like, all this anger, like this just fury and the force of my, you know, it was like fight or flight. And
I want to put in the comments, are you going to tell her when, if you're going to pick her up?
Yeah, I can text you. Okay.
Wait.
Well, it sounds so good with just thinking about whatever's necessary, like watching the worksheets, and yes, you know, just following one slowly at a time, all okay. Even if the like it's a huge room full of visitors all saying, we demand to be heard now, you know, whatever, just one at a time. And even, you know, just good with that. Here's this worker, here's this, you know, just resting with it, moving with it.
Yeah, it feels like in that moment, all these thoughts just hit me like just all at once. And then I'm just sort of like bombarded by the reaction of it all, that I can't, you know, disentangle all those thoughts. And then, but now I feel like if I went back to that moment and she said what she said, I'd be able to just slowly kind of say, you know, just I don't know, it just feels like I can slow it all down and have my back a bit more, and I don't have to, you know, I'm open to whatever.
So sweet.
Yeah. You know, and it did involve somebody else, and I feel like I can even talk to them and just, you know, and forget about them also, like worrying if they think it's petty or not, because, well, to me it's a big thing, and it's, I don't know, I just tend to try and make everything okay for everyone else, and kind of feel like I don't want to keep brushing myself off.
So that's so sweet, because then you can, what you want her to stop doing, you can stop doing, and also just let yourself have the noticing of fear that rises up in this situation, that you know, like it's okay, nothing wrong with you to be afraid. Isn't that funny how we'll be like, there's something wrong if I shouldn't be thinking this way. It's too late, you're already thought that way.
True. And I mean, even, do you find that, like, say, like I'm just imagining myself talking to these two people, but I, you know, like I often will have a wobbly voice, you know, and I'm still a bit shaky on it, like I'm I still feel a bit victim-y though, like kind of I want them to save me, and I don't like that either. Is that even more work? Oh, God. I mean,
noticing,
all up for it. It's just,
I think it's just really noticing the mind really showing you all danger possibilities, like this is a threat, and so this could happen and this could happen, and it's great to notice that you do not know what could happen. And if you were just free and could say and notice, you might say, wow, I feel really wobbly and afraid right now to say this. And it's just coming to me to say, da, 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 da. You know, you don't say it perfectly, that's for sure.
And maybe, maybe it's just because I'm not used to just talking like that. So I just feel like a little wobbly baby giraffe or something.
Totally. Absolutely. You don't know. And you're not supposed to know. It's not supposed to be very good.
Really?
I mean, how would you know, like the mind, the thoughts seem to expect us to do it perfectly. without practice. It's like learning to walk, or you're supposed to be running right now. So just letting it be a little dose at a time, just a little, and relaxing with it. Human being. We expect ourselves to be like beyond human, like you should be, I don't know, saint-like or something. At least that's what, do it.
And I tend to put other people on a pedestal. I see that a lot of my worksheets, like they're powerful and I'm not, and they're above me, and so
mind. Yeah.
No wonder I get scared,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. Just rock yourself like a little baby. It's okay to have all parts. Yeah. It's really sweet. That's very precious work, really. So Tiffany, thank you for bringing it.
Yeah, well, I can see just right now that life isn't cruel. Just the fact that you have taken the time to listen and be here. I just really feel heard, and
I'm so glad. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful work.
Yay for the work.
Yay for the work. Yay for the work.
Yay.